Karen O'Neill from United Way coming at you with our 3 p.m. chat. Today we're talking about seniors. So I have Nicole Hunter on the line. Nicole Hunter is the district manager for VON, and she manages 13 programs across Windsor, Essex, and Sarnia. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, Karen. Great. Nice to see you again.
You too. We've been chatting quite a bit. I imagine you're working from home. And how are you holding it at home?
Actually, I thought I worked a lot before, but I find that I am staying stationary in one place for longer periods of time with working at home, as opposed to when you're in the office, you're walking to the printer, you're at least getting up. That's about the only drawback that I find from working at home.
Yeah, and you're using different equipment too. I am finding that, I'm sitting at a different desk, so I'm crossing my legs differently, and all of a sudden, when I'm getting aches and pains in areas that it's like, what's going on here?
Yes, and some days you can't move at all.
This is true. So can you, Nicole, talk about, I know VON does a lot of work with seniors, and just in light of COVID, we're also hearing all kinds of challenges that seniors are facing. Can you talk about what those challenges are and what the critical needs of seniors are today?
Yes, and I'll start with our nursing program. So one of the biggest challenges for the nurses is actually the client's fear of having someone new and different come into their home from the community. They're afraid that they're going to get the virus from, the different agencies that are going in there. So that's one of the challenges. The other for community support services, same thing. Our volunteer base is, a lot of our volunteers are between 70 and 90 themselves. So they're at the high risk population. So they're only visiting now via the phone. So we had asked, we would really like to go into their homes virtually, and they can have a pen pal through email, and also they can have a phone visit, and they would also be able to have a face-to-face via a Zoom platform like this. That is our biggest challenge, is they're feeling, some of them are scared. They do feel they are very isolated. Some people have no one in their life except the volunteers. So virtual visiting, I think, is the solution to that problem.
And as far as the virtual visiting goes, I know that Tech Savvy has stepped forward and offered to help out with tablets, right? So
yes,
I'm sure that's going to fill a little bit of a need there.
Yes. And we're also, because our coordinators are also working from home now, our one coordinator who's been doing some volunteer visiting work for us, because our other coordinator's working via virtually in Wallaceburg, but she's having trouble getting to Chatham due to childcare. So our other coordinator has picked up the slack, and in addition to her own supportive care program, she's taken on the volunteer visiting. So she was doing a volunteer visiting group in a rest and retirement home. And she apologized ahead of time to the residents in case her daughter interrupted. And so then, they started saying, well, what's your daughter's age and where does she go to school? And they found out that she spoke French. So they invited her to read books to them the following week at the next meeting, 2 in French and 1 in English. So that's what she did. So that was a great venue to kind of pilot a seniors and children and youth program. So we're working on that now.
That's a great story. In fact, I know exactly who you're talking about, because I was just on the line with her yesterday, and we were talking about how we can expand that into other senior homes. So That's fantastic. Um,
Yeah.
can you expand, talk a little bit about, so you did already mention how some of the programming's changed so that it's delivered virtually. Can you talk about, you said that you manage 13 programs across Windsor, Essex, and Sarnia. Can you talk
Mhm.
about like what other supports are out there for seniors?
In Chatham, we have the volunteer visiting and telephone insurance, and also the seniors exercise programs. Did you want me to talk about the district?
Actually, well, specific to
Or
Chatham-Kent would be
Chatham?
good. And then specifically how some of those programs have altered. Like you said, the visits have been changed to virtual. But I mean, like, so say the exercise program, like, is that on hold right now? Or is there a way that you've been able to, flip that program around so that it can still meet the needs of seniors?
In Chatham right now, it's on hold in the rest of retirement homes, but we actually piloted our first virtual visiting exercise class in Windsor this week, and it went very well. Now, the home in Windsor provided iPads for the residents because they can't even go into the dining room. They're all on lockdown. So they chose 6 residents and got 6 iPads, and the coordinator taught them how to use Zoom, and they just finished their first exercise class, and wonderful feedback.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we will
So
be doing that in Chatham as well.
okay, and they're not long-term care homes. These are rest homes?
Rest homes, yeah. Rest and retirement homes.
Awesome, awesome. And so if I had a loved one in the Chatham-Kent region that needed some supports, like say if I was looking for somebody that would do some of those social virtual visits or any of your other programs, where would I find the information?
They just have to call the BON office, and they can ask for any one of those programs, and they would be connected to the coordinator of that program. Anyone can refer into any of our programs. So your doctor, family member, yourself, there's no restrictions whatsoever. They're all delivered free of charge. And they're wonderful, wonderful programs, especially the telephone insurance. It's just a quick security check call. So if you were looking after, say, Uncle Fred in the community, and you wanted to go to Florida, and you thought, oh, gee, who's going to look after Fred while we're gone? And that's when you could call us, and we would do a security check on that person. So you're free to travel. And of course, the isolated seniors just love it that somebody checks in on them daily, even if it's just for a few minutes.
So
Gives
who's
them a
going to
great sense
Florida?
of security. Sorry.
Who's going to Florida, Nicole?
Yeah, I know. I use that
You
as
must
an
have.
example. Bad timing.
No, but that would be a good service, I would imagine, for people that live out of town, right? And they have their senior parents that, are
Definitely.
more isolated. So, oh,
Yes,
that's
and we have a lot of those people because a lot of their kids have moved out west. They still want to make sure somebody's checking on their loved one. It's a great program. It gives them a sense of independence, and without being intrusive, because you're just calling on the phone. And yeah, and very great program for the remote areas. And also, it's not weather dependent. So you can call and talk to somebody anytime, whether there's a blizzard happening outside. You don't have to worry about getting to their home. And then some people, just don't want anybody in their home, but they do want to know that somebody is looking after them.
well, I really appreciate you joining us and expanding on some of the programs. And I imagine that these programs are listed on your website as well.
Yes, our website, and we just updated 211 as well.
Okay, I was going to follow up with that.
Yeah.
And Nicole, I would really, I would invite you to take a look at ckgives.ca. on the first tab, it's a help page. So people that are looking for supports, if there's a link that's appropriate, please let us know. We want to
Okay.
ensure, because we are sending people to ckgives.ca for if they're looking for help, if they're wanting to help. So if people want to sign up to volunteer, and then of course to donate. So I would appreciate it if you went over that, and if there's an appropriate link, like the telephone assurance calls, like that would be a really good link to put on there.
Yes, I believe so as well. That's great. Yes, we can do that.
Awesome. And then finally, I wanted to invite you to an event. Believe it or not, we are hosting an event. I belong to a group called Women United, and we're an affinity group of United Way, and we advocate and financially support the needs of vulnerable women and children in Chatham-Kent. So our executive team met last week, and we all want to participate in the May 16 Miracle, and I'm sure that you've heard of the May 16 Miracle.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So we decided as our way of supporting that, which by the way takes place this Saturday, everyone's asked to have their goods on the front porch for noon. Women United are backing this event up by putting feminine hygiene products on our front porch. We know it's a great need when it comes to food banks. It's one of those items that are gone very quickly, as well as, you know, groups like the Women's Center, you know, could use those sort of donations. So I'm allowed to invite a friend. So I would absolutely love it if you could join us. It's tonight at 7. If you get there about 10 minutes early, it is on a Zoom call, and we've got it locked down pretty tight. It's, like I said, it's by invite only, and then we pretty much virtually lock the doors. And it's everyone's wearing their pajamas and bringing a beverage and a snack of choice. And I'd love to have you join us.
That's great. And I would love to be there because I find in venues like that, a lot of brainstorming can happen and a lot of great ideas, a lot of very creative, maybe wine-driven ideas come out that actually come to fruition, and they're pretty good.
Great. Well, thanks again for joining us, and thank you everyone out there in CK for joining us once again on this 3 p.m. chat. Join us tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be an exciting chat. It'll be with a couple of women from United Way who are going to talk about the experience we had tonight at the pajama party. So thanks everyone. Have a great afternoon.
You too, Karen. Bye.